tremendous relief afterwards.
Now a kind of a three-part question. First, how many books will the saga have? When is the next one coming out? And what can we expect of at least of the next book in the saga?
Okay, well, there will be 5 books in the series. That was planned out in my original proposal to the publishers. They originally bought 3 books, so the assumption amongst many people was that it was a trilogy because it's a fantasy and therefore has to be a trilogy. But I bucked that curve the same way I buck things with the Desert Spear. So there will be 5 books in the series. The 3rd book is called The Daylight War. I'm writing it right now. It's been plotted out to completion. I know everything that's going to happen in the book, but I will be meticulous in working on the prose and polishing it before I let it out. It's scheduled for release in English in the very beginning of 2012. Odds are that I will have turned it in far enough in advance that it'll be able to be translated and released here in Portugal probably close to the same time. The Desert Spear came out more or less at the same time in English and in Portuguese. That book will continue the conflict between these 2 main characters, Arlen and Jardir, as Jardir attempts to conquer the entire world and levy everyone into one great army in order to fight the demons. And there's both characters are fighting for the same goal. Both characters want to defeat the demons that are preying on humanity, but they both have a very different idea of how that should be done. Arlen wants people to learn to stand up for themselves. Jardir wants to just turn everyone into one gigantic army. And obviously there's some conflict about that. So the title of the book is The Daylight War because the concept behind it is that even with demons knocking down the walls and preying on humanity, humans just can't stop fighting with each other. And I think that that's something that's true in our world, and I think that that's a truth that I try and explore in my novels. So then there will be 2 books after that, which I seem to be writing each one a little bit faster than the one before. The Painted Man took me 7 years to write. Obviously I was writing part-time then. The Desert Spear I wrote in 3. I'm hoping to finish The Daylight War in 2. If that continues, hopefully the last 2 books will be out much faster. I think that covered the entire
it is. I'm going to give the audience the chance to ask some questions. Não sei se alguém tem perguntas que queira fazer ao Peter Brett. Oh, seems we don't have questions. Everybody's running to... Rogério. No. Yes, please.
How dark does dark get when you say it's dark?
It depends. There are a lot of authors, I would say, that are worse than I am in this sort of thing, but I do, I mean, there are some hard moral questions in the book. As the armies conquer the world, they do what armies do. There is rape, there is pillage, there is good people getting crushed underfoot in order to take over cities, and I personalize some of those things. I think that in a lot of novels you see these big great wars, and these same things happen in every war, but they get polished over in a lot of fantasy stories and not addressed. I get a little closer to those things. I show the people who go through some of these assaults and what it takes for them to recover, what it takes for them to come to terms with what's happened to them and come out a stronger person as a result. So I think that those are some risky things to do if you're looking to write mainstream books, but it was important to me to address some of those issues because I feel that fantasy, particularly the fantasy that I read in the 80s and in the 90s, was very whitewashed away from those things. You know, nothing terrible ever happened to the good guys. The good guys always win. The uglier parts of war were hidden away in a corner, and it was all glorious battles and swords, and not the suffering of the peasants and the bloody aftermath of things. So I try not to be gratuitous in these things. I try and keep some of the worst of it off camera and deal with the consequences, but I don't shy away from it either. And I think that that creates a more mature story that is more what I would like to read. And so,
Yes.
Where do these demons come from?
they come from what I call the core in English, in Portuguese. What?
Unúcleo.
Unúcleo.
It wasn't easy to do a direct translation.
The basic concept is that the center of the world is hell, the abyss. And the demons live there during the day, and then when the sun sets, they rise up through the ground and kind of ravage the land. As the series progresses, there will be increasing point of view from the demons themselves as you learn more about what they seem like mindless animals in the first book, and then in the second book we're introduced to more intelligent demons, and we start to get their perspective, understand what their society is like, see what their motivations are, and that will continue through the series until the culmination of the book, which the final book in the series is called The Core, or Núcleo, I guess will be in Portuguese.
I still have it. So it's I'm going to do a subversion, and I have two questions, one for each one of you. So my question to Peter is, I believe that in the last few months I've seen you in a lot of conventions and panels. So I want to ask you about the necessity you find to go to conventions and show your work, and if that it's derived from wanting to show what are the points of your series, because now the market, we see a lot of fantasy series, so if that's the necessity to make a difference and to explain the difference. And to Pedro, since he was admonishing me, I was presenting him as from Guy Libra, and he told, well, now we're Emilio Muniz. So I wanted to ask him what's with the change, and so the practical side of the change.
For me, there's two aspects to traveling around and going to conventions. The first is that The Desert Spear was a very personal book for me. I felt like, as I said before, I took some chances with it. I wasn't sure how people were going to react to it. When you're writing is a very personal thing, particularly for me. You sit at your desk by yourself, struggling over something, trying to make it right, trying to express something inside you and put it on paper. And when you do that, you put a lot of yourself into it. And I had determined for this book that if it didn't succeed, it would not be because I didn't put everything I had behind it. I did everything that I could to promote this book because it was important to me, and because I felt like this was my best work. This was something that I wanted to share with people. And I also feel that it's such a great honor to be translated into other languages, to be available in other countries, to have the books distributed worldwide, that I want to make every book special. So the Portuguese book is very special to me, and the UK book is very special to me, and the Japanese translation is very special to me, and I want to try and show the same support for each one of them that I do for the English version. It's not just about the English version for me. It's about sharing it with a larger group of people. And well, I'm very lucky to live in an age where, thanks to the internet and Google Translate and things like that, I can read reviews in other languages. I can respond to readers in other languages. People all over the world can friend me on Facebook or follow me on Twitter or things like that. And that interaction with my readers is something that's very important to me. And it's a wonderful opportunity to get to meet people from all over the world and learn about them and learn about where they come from. And to some of these trips are especially wonderful because people that I've been interacting with over email or over Facebook, I get to meet in person. And when would I get the chance to do that otherwise? So